Following productivity advice often leads to a wall of paralysis. Common narratives suggest you should wake up at 5 a.m., meditate, lift weights, and read philosophy before the sun even comes up. This list of 10 life-changing habits, from single tasking to daily journaling, offers a potential path to improvement. Attempting to implement all 10 of these routines simultaneously triggers a 100% failure rate. Forcing your brain to track 10 new behavioral changes causes a spike in cognitive overload that depletes your willpower within a week. True optimization requires strategically abandoning high-friction routines to focus on a single, targeted microhabit. We can identify that specific habit by evaluating it as an investment. We will measure these 10 habits based on their return on investment, or ROI. This chart plots the required daily effort against the compounding life impact of each habit. Plotting these routines on a matrix allows us to weigh the actual cost of a habit against its functional yield. We can identify which behaviors require heavy lifting and which offer a high return for minimal effort. The goal is to use this matrix to pinpoint the 1 or 2 habits that directly neutralize your specific bottleneck of time, focus, or energy. The first group lands in the low-effort, high-impact quadrant, the time creators. The 2-minute rule requires you to execute any task taking under 120 seconds immediately. This removes the invisible mental weight of accumulated microchores, like unread emails or unfiled documents. However, there is a trade-off. Allowing a sudden microtask to interrupt a deep work block can fracture your focus and destroy your momentum. Saying no is the second time creator. Declining non-essential obligations instantly reclaims hours of weekly calendar space and protects your physical energy. This habit requires enduring short-term social friction and the guilt of disappointing others to achieve long-term schedule autonomy. Investing in complex routines is only possible once you have built a time surplus by clearing out low-value obligations. We move now to the medium-effort, high-impact quadrant to examine the focus multipliers. Multitasking increases error rates and leads to burnout. Single tasking prevents this cognitive drain and shortens the total completion time for any project. The trade-off of single tasking is the intentional delay in response times. You must accept that communications will wait while you finish the task at hand. Digital detox and prioritizing sleep function as physiological necessities that restore the cognitive function and emotional regulation required for focus. Adopting these restorative habits requires sacrificing the instant gratification of late-night revenge bedtime procrastination and mindless entertainment. Working longer hours without a foundation of single-minded focus and sleep merely accelerates the path to burnout. The low-effort, slow but high-impact quadrant contains physical habits, reading 10 pages and 5 to 10 minutes of morning movement. These micro-investments scale mathematically. Reading 10 pages a day results in 12 books a year, while brief morning movement clears brain fog without the high barrier of a full workout. The trade-off is that results are invisible in the short term. Because you won't feel an immediate shift in fitness or intelligence, it is easy to quit before the return on investment manifests. These physical microhabits derive their power from the mathematical law of compounding over months and years. The mental counterparts to these compounders are journaling, daily gratitude, and weekly reflection. Investing 10 minutes a week into writing down your thoughts untangles complex anxieties and breaks negative thought loops, providing the data needed to confirm your daily actions align with macro goals. These habits remove the distraction of being busy, forcing you to confront uncomfortable realities about what isn't working in your life. Mental clarity is a byproduct of deliberate, consistent reflection, rather than endless action. Match your habit choice to your specific burnout profile. If you lack time, focus on the 2-minute rule and saying no. The exhausted optimizer needs single tasking and sleep to restore energy. A stuck beginner builds consistency through reading or moving for 5 minutes. Self-improvement attempts often fail when the practitioner adopts a habit that doesn't target their specific type of burnout. The most effective habit for long-term growth is not actually found on this list of 10. The true meta-habit is the discipline to select a single change, accept its specific trade-offs, and execute it consistently without being distracted by new trends. Productivity is a measure of how much friction you eliminate to protect your valuable time, your uninterrupted focus, and your physical energy.